Right. James Tavernier this weekend, catching the headlines as per usual. Decided to do his best Phil Jones impression, crawling about the floor, and it led to Hearts' opening goal in the 1-1 draw at Tynecastle. Is he a bit of a liability just now for Rangers?
It would appear that way, but I think he's going through his roughest patch as Rangers captain. I think as the pressure's kind of ramped up at Rangers and the expectations ramped up at Rangers, I think James Tavernier has looked a little bit rocky alongside it. He's not getting the stats that he had last season. He's obviously missed that penalty against Feyenoord and the mistakes against Young Boys. Thankfully, they came in Europe rather than domestically. And then the Hearts mistake. Is he a liability? He's certainly not. I mean, if he's not providing the attacking aspects of his game that makes him a valuable player for Rangers, then you'd have to say yes. Liability is a harsh word just now, but the high-profile mistakes, I think that the eyes on Tavernier at the minute, and he has to respond. So we'll see. Is he a liability? We'll see in the coming weeks. Is he under pressure? Absolutely.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think I've said before, I was always a big supporter of him, and still am to a certain degree with the weekend. But I think last year, as Cammy says, like you're looking at the stats, and the guy provided 14 goals, assists. Goals wise, I think he got 14 in the league. A lot of them are penalties, but again, those are pressure moments where he's stepping up and delivering for the team, whether that's aiding others or scoring himself. But what we're seeing now is, and there was a few mistakes last year. There was one against Celtic, but there weren't the ones with the same frequency as now. We're talking that he's really had a big impact on results 2 out of the last 3 games. So I think you're right in the terms of like a liability is a tough one to bandy about, because I think he's been a good servant to the club since he's come up, and I think it would have been very easy for him to leave, probably at several stages over that. But he stuck by, and a whole decent store on Gerrard, who was an excellent captain in his own right, backing him to be his captain. I think he knows what it takes, and it's tough for us to see inside the dressing room, but certainly the players in the media, boys like Borna Barisic, who Luka Modric is his captain with Croatia, will say that he's a great leader and he's helped them out a lot. So I think it's tough. He should not be written off completely. Am I confident that he will do a stellar job at the back in Portugal against Porto? No, because I don't think he can be, having seen the mistakes in 2 of the last 3 games. Do I think putting John Flanagan, who's now fit in, to replace him, do I think that's a better move? Well, I think we'll lose 15 goals across the season at least from now until the end of it if you have someone as limited as John Flanagan going forward in that position. But it's a really tough one, because he adds a lot, and the team, a lot of people give him the ball and be like, well, can you produce a bit of magic from out wide? And when that's not happening, it's amplified as to how poorly he's playing. But he adds a lot going forward, which you have to look at now on weight of evidence that maybe someone like Flanagan would be more solid at the back. So you have to sort of weigh up what you want out of your Rangers team.
Do you think that if he wouldn't be coming under as much scrutiny if he wasn't the captain and he'd made those mistakes, or do you think that his response to the mistakes wouldn't be perhaps as nervous if he wasn't the captain?
I think a lot of people have a thing about him, that he's not this like warrior, Souness, brash, big bloke who will come out and run through walls visibly for you and make those sorts of contributions. I think others will say that in the dressing room that he does it in other ways, but that doesn't wash with, I think, a lot of the sort of more the guys who have supported the club over decades, do not recognise him as a Rangers captain in that way. So yeah, I think if he's not wearing the armband, he's just the right back, then the pressure subsides a little bit, but there's no getting away with, if he was the captain or not. Those mistakes have cost us in 2 of the last 3 games. So it definitely amplifies it. And then, there's calls for, that he's a card for basically not coming out to address the media and stuff afterwards because he's a captain. You wouldn't expect, if Morelos misses a chance, not that, he's ever going to come out for an interview, but, if Arfield has a stinker, and he scores an OG, you don't expect him to come out and face the media, but Tav's expected to do that in these difficult situations, and I think that's also an interesting question. Like, I mean, do you have it ingrained into you? You're like, he's made the mistake, he's a Rangers captain, he should be coming out after the game, or is that?
I don't think that necessarily at all. I think, like I said, I think maybe that's symbolic of the kind of quiet leadership that Tavernier reportedly offers in the back. And remember Richard Gough saying that he reminded him of himself, and he was obviously the captain during the 9 in a row era. But Tavernier, I think he's under pressure. It's the most pressure that he's been under. He's repeatedly said that he believes in his ability. He's confident in himself. There's a reason why he's Rangers captain. And away from just the leadership stuff, it's because he's a quality footballer. He's a very talented right back. There's obviously deficiencies defensively, but he seems to have gone back from last season where he was much more solid. The big game thing is an issue. So I mean, it's all well and good that he cocks it up against young boys, and then he goes and scores. What he scored against Hamilton, I think it was. Was it?
I think like assists and stuff. And
yeah, against his teams.
And he looked really good.
In a big game, you need to deliver. So we'll see. Porto's a big one. I mean, he just needs to find his form again. I think it might just be a case of a player being off form, but it's high-profile mistakes.